What are you glad you tried once, but will absolutely never do again? Traveling as a backpacker. Glad I experienced it, but fuck that shit. I am not able to deal with having strangers in my space 24/7. Travel is fun when I have a private space to go back to at the end of a day, but constantly sharing living and bedding space with people I don't know makes me anxious as fuck. Being out of college taught me a lot of things while I was away, but how I did not want to drop out of college, finishing my degree in spring of 2027. Heroin. Fortunately, I took a very small dose. I knew immediately, the exact moment the high hit, this was too perfect. I also knew that if I ever did it again, I would never stop. I'll never try it, but I've always wanted to know what people describe the high as. I've smoked lots of weed, lean, done cocaine a handful of times, but never anything else, and never will. But I've always wondered what the heroin high is like, that it gets people hooked so instantly. Warm blanket of perfect bliss. Your own mother could die in front of you, and you'd not feel a single bad thing until you came down. It's a very powerful feeling, and doing opiates has hijacked my brain for good, unlike any other drug I've done. Opioids are, on a broad level, synthetic endorphins. Endorphin is actually an abbreviation of endogenous morphine, literally the morphine your body makes. Ironically, it was later discovered that our bodies do produce very small amounts of morphine as well, but the name was long established by that point. A lot of the effects are underwhelming or even unpleasant. It's drowsiness, dizziness, a bit of nausea, and kind of a feeling of being dissociated from the world around you. Irritability or even rage can show up in some people. If you've ever gotten a runner's high or settled into sleep after being awake for far too long, it's probably the closest naturally occurring feeling, minus the exhaustion. What gets people hooked isn't how it makes you feel on a subjective, experiential level. While people learn to like the physical effects because they mean the drug is working, nobody is seeking them out on their own. It's how it colors everything that's going on around you. Things are just nicer. You feel safe. Your emotions are numbed, but in the sense that they're locked at, this is fine. Emotional pain and stress trigger the same parts of your brain that physical pain does, and so by turning down the volume of those parts of your brain, opioids work like a selective filter. The glass has no choice but to be half full. It's also why they are so much more difficult to stop than other drugs. The physical symptoms are mostly manageable, but the degree of emotional turmoil and sheer, crushing despair that accompany it make it almost impossible to just tough out, with people sometimes finding themselves unable to feel any positive emotions for months after they stop showing outward signs of withdrawal. Live in Korea. I tried it as a student who was studying abroad. If I tried it again, it would be as an adult in the workforce, and fuck that. Caving. Not the walking into a space type, but the crawling from one side to the other and having to return through the exact same narrow, crawling space. Descending and crawling into trauma should be illegal. It's like voluntarily going into Death Valley in the hottest days and with good equipment, but knowing that if anything goes wrong, you are dead, dead, dead. Skydiving. Certified skydiver here. It's a lot of fun, but IMHO, a money pit that doesn't reward you like many other hobbies can. You get tempted to do either more dangerous things or more elaborate ones, group jumps. And there's just no particular payday like getting more fit or skilled, to where it can matter or apply outside of that. And it takes loads of jumps to get there, so you're tens of thousands of dollars in the hole, and you also have to live in the right areas or travel to do the coolest stuff. Really limiting. Watch the NYE countdown in the middle of Times Square. 13 hours of standing still in the cold, not able to leave our area. Listening to the performers practice bits and pieces of their sets for TV. Being surrounded by screaming and yelling people all around you for hours and hours. Not being able to walk because of standing still for so long. It was a great experience, but I don't want or need to do it again. Now, watching the NYE countdown on TV every year makes it more meaningful since I was there. Bingo. Standing around like cattle in pens. Can't drink or eat for fear of needing to go to the bathroom and get out of your designated area. There's a reason everyone loses their mind at midnight. They get to go home. Mountain biking. Exhilaratingly fun, but I almost fell down a mountain and died. I'll never forget it, for good and bad reasons, but I'll never do it again either. Now put snow on that mountain and give me a board and we're chillin'. Haha, I feel almost exactly the opposite about mountain biking and skiing. Homelessness. Taught me how to survive, be grateful, be focused, and be cautious with my life. Gave me my will to live back. I never want to do it again. Ever. A track day in my own car. Did it last year. I drive a reasonably quick car, a Golf R, and have always fancied doing a track day. My friends and family clubbed together for my 40th and bought me a day at an open track event at Silverstone GP Circuit. I enjoyed it a lot. It was great to fully open the taps and drive around an iconic track as much as I liked. But I don't think I'd like to do it again. First off, even though my car isn't slow by any means, most of what I was driving with were supercars, which I was extremely paranoid about crashing into despite having insurance. I spent most of the day looking in the rearview mirror and getting out of the way of Porsches, Aston Martins, and such. Worse was the Caterhams, which are a very lightweight track-focused car, which meant they could brake a lot later and corner a lot faster than me. So it seemed like every other corner I had one up my exhaust pipe waiting to get past. Aside from that, I was also worried about the amount of wear and tear was causing my car, which is effectively a fast road car and not best suited for track driving. The engine was getting pushed very hard, as were the tires and brakes. The car held up fine, and it sailed through its MOT test a month later. But if I were to make it a regular thing, I've no doubt the maintenance costs would begin to skyrocket. NYC Marathon. Did it. Loved it. No reason to repeat it, and no other marathon could top it for me. Cigarettes. I didn't hate the taste, and TBF, I was able to quit easily enough once I got tired of it, so I'm lucky there. But looking back, I only did it because I had smoking friends and didn't want to be excluded. And once I got away from those friends, it's just an unhealthy habit that makes my breath smell and my sense of taste weak for the rest of the day. Swimming with manatees. I know they're sweet, calm water cows, but they scare me, and I did it anyway and will never again. That's how I was swimming with whale sharks. I know they wouldn't hurt me, but holy fuck was I scared shitless. Sprinkle in a bit of thalassophobia too. It was a good and fun experience, but I got the pictures and video, so I'm good. A one-night stand. I was so worried about missing out on the sexual exploration phase of hooking up, etc. Turns out, the reason I hadn't done it before is because it's simply not for me. Not bad, just kind of boring. I have had a one-night stand once. For me, it's not because it's boring, but because, apparently, I feel connected to people quite quickly. It was rough seeing that guy after, we had mutual friends, and him acting like nothing had happened. I was a bit the opposite. Slept together, and then I hung out with her a few times to build some sort of connection after, so it would have more meaning or something.